Welcome back. What's the best walking pace for weight loss? This is a question that you might have. If I'm wondering if walking 10,000 steps per day burns the same amount of calories and is effective for weight loss, even if your pace is not that fast. Does pace matter? And I want to tell you that pace does make a difference when it comes to calorie burn, but it's a tiny amount. So if you were, I use a run calorie calculator, and if you walked a 5K at a 20-minute mile pace with these stats below, you would burn about 447 calories. But if you were to run it at a 12-minute mile pace, that same distance, it would be 472 calories. So it's a difference of only 25 calories. So it's a really small difference on the pace, and it's not going to make a big difference in your health outcomes or weight loss. However, any pace has benefits when it comes to physical activity, and it's way better than just staying seated or laying around or not getting active. So either one of these has tons of health benefits. I recently did a video on health benefits of exercise. Next thing to keep in mind, you'll get better cardiovascular impact from a pace that makes you focus on your breathing. If you are, the fewer words you're able to speak when you're doing it, then the more intense the exercise is, basically, because you need to concentrate on your air. You need to use more of your oxygen in your body in order to get, so you don't pass out, basically. All right. So there's a scale, the rate of perceived exertion. It's a scale that goes from 1 to 10. Personal trainers use this. And so when you're at a vigorous activity on the verge of becoming uncomfortable, short of breath, can speak a sentence, that's 6 to 7. So if you are walking at a very gentle pace, you're going to be at a very light activity at the top. But if you are like sprinting or you're having a hard time or you're unable to talk, that's a more intense effort. So if you are higher on the scale when you're exercising, then you are going to get better cardiovascular results, better cardiovascular impact, better conditioning and fitness. It's not going to have a huge impact on your weight loss or health, probably, but it will have bigger health benefits than just walking. But the major thing to think about in this video, bigger calorie impact from consistency and frequency per day. So if you are doing something that's unsustainable or it's too big of a change from what you were doing before, then you're going to have a hard time staying consistent with that. And that's what's going to cause your daily average of activity to drop, your calorie burn overall to drop, your physical activities per day, like all that is going to go way down. And then you're not going to be going as much in the first place. So you got to make sure that you stay on top of realistic plans for yourself. Also, safety is a big one. If you take your training up way too fast or way too far, way too soon, you're more likely to get injured, shin splints, and all kinds of cramps and injuries that can happen. And that can get you sidelined. And then your physical activity will go down too. So that's also not effective behavior. So you want to look at how you can improve these consistency and safety. And then your frequency per day, how often you get active and move and break up your sedentary time. That also has big benefits. I'll break that down a little bit more. I want to introduce myself. I'm Reggie. I'm the founder of Fit for Freelance. I help business owners lose weight and feel their best without crash diets or guilt. And I answer these questions online because, people want to know. And if you don't, then you can pick a really silly health plan, weight loss plan that makes you feel bad about yourself, causes you to get hurt, makes you quit, and then you feel like something's wrong with you, all that stuff. If you're tired of messing up your health plan, I've got the Live Line scorecard, so you can take the quiz. It's a 3-minute quiz that's free, and you can figure out the best next steps for you to take. Something else I want to point out when it comes to this post, 10,000 steps per day is a big jump for most people. So usually when you make a big jump, like if you were more sedentary before and then suddenly you're doing 10,000 steps per day, that's going to increase your risk of injury. And that's something I have written here. Sudden increases in running can hurt. And when that happens, then you're going to be sidelined. So you want to be careful, be mindful of gradually increasing from your baseline. Look out for resolutions and New Year's resolutions. And all of a sudden, like, I'm going to change everything about my life. I'm going to become the most active person. I'm going to only eat healthy foods and cut out all sugars. All or nothing thinking is a quick way to burn out and then end up back where you were before or returning to your old habits. So keep that in mind when it comes to 10,000 steps per day or how fast you should go. Think about sustainability, gradually increase from your baseline. So another way to think about this is You already had habits before, you were already on a system, you had a plan going. Monitor that, see how many steps you were taking before. Use your phone or a counting app, anything like that, and then see what you are currently doing. Then you can increase that by like 10% or 1,000 steps just to get a little bit higher without making it feel like such a chore or a major task. And that also helps you with recovery, safety, all the other things I've talked about in this video so far. So if you gradually increase from your baseline, you're going to be more likely to stick to it, and you'll have a more gradual progression that feels sustainable. Crucial if you want to stick to your plan of getting more active, losing weight, and all that stuff. Another good strategy that you can use here, walking a couch, the 5K program. This is a program that's designed to get you from inactive on the couch to being able to walk and run or run a 5K and different amounts of time. I think it's like 12 weeks. So it's a very gradual program, and it's really designed for people who are looking to increase their activity in a sustainable way. And it gives you like a step-by-step, day-by-day program so you know exactly what to do, and your risk of overtraining or getting hurt go way down. And it gives you like a real clear plan for, on this day, this is Monday, you're gonna walk for 20 minutes, right? And then it's really clear, and that helps with that focus that keeps you on track. So you're not guessing what to do. You don't have to worry too much about your pacing, but you're still on the right track for your health goals, right? A study that I covered on a show a couple of times, how often you get active per day has a bigger impact than how hard you get active. So if you do an intense sprinting workout and then you are less active throughout the day, then you're not going to get the same benefits as someone who walks throughout the day or takes more frequent breaks. And this is in a study called Breaks in Sedentary Time. I'll link to it below on YouTube, but this is what it looks like. Basically, the people who took the most frequent breaks had better outcomes in waist circumference, body mass index, triglycerides, and plasma glucose. So all good things here by getting active more often, especially if you're interested in weight loss. That waist circumference, body mass index are key indicators for what you're trying to do. So something else to keep in mind, it's not just about your pace, it's about your consistency and your frequency. So, and all of that was independent of total sedentary time and moderate to vigorous intensity activity time. So it didn't matter if you were working out super hard at other points or if you were, just sitting a lot, right? Those things didn't matter. It was more about how often you took breaks. The people who took the most walking breaks per day had more health benefits. So focus on that instead of your pace, and you'll be better off for it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and you can check that health habit score in that link below in that scorecard. And next, you can watch Does Walking Burn Belly Fat from the Guilt Free Health Coach. I covered it in depth in another video. I'll put that right there. That's today's message. As always, keep practicing. Peace.